Solar PVT again for the last time from Res for Med event here in Rome. And now we speak with a special guest here who is coming from Africa, the State Ministry of Industry from Ethiopia, with Mr. Mebrahtu, yes. And he came here to promote the country, also the investments in the country, but also maybe he would like to share with us his opinion about the future of solar and clean energies. I was very surprised because actually I learned today that Ethiopia is the second largest population and the country in Africa, yes?
Yes, Ethiopia is the second populous country in Africa after Nigeria. We have now having a population of almost 100 million. Of course, Nigeria has the biggest, but Nigeria and Ethiopia, both countries account for 25% of the African population. And of course, the growth rate of population in Ethiopia is also going high, about 2.5%. So population, and of course it's a young population. 70% of the population is below the age of 30 years. So it's a young country. We have this potential, the young people potential, to grow our economy.
Also very interesting, I saw also the graph when you showed the growth rate of GDP, yes, which is really impressive, yes?
Yes, we have been growing in the last 12, 30 years, double digit without any break, continuously. So Ethiopia even now is one of the fastest growing economy in the world. So yes, Ethiopia is now transforming very much from agrarian. It's an agrarian country. We need to modernize agriculture. But again, we need also to go into light manufacturing industry. And we are planning to be a middle income country, the lower strata by 2025.
Wow, so it's very ambitious, yeah?
So Ethiopia, given its potential, 1.1 million square kilometer, about 45% of the whole territory is arable. About 3% of this is irrigable also. We have water. Ethiopia is called the water mama of Africa. And we produce a lot of renewable energy also out of this water resource through hydro dams. We have many hydro dams completed and in the pipeline, and in the future also to come on. So we have clean and green, of course, cheap energy in Ethiopia. We are also providing this to other neighboring countries, to Sudan, to Djibouti, to South Sudan, and now to Kenya. So we want to connect our energy source to the African grid system to provide to many countries this power, renewable power and cheap power. At the same time, we are also embarking on solar energy projects.
Because recently there was quite a lot of tenders, in your country.
A lot of tenders at the moment. So we hope Italian companies, will participate. Of course, in the hydro dam, Salini company is taking the big hydro dam, Renaissance Dam. We call it 6,250 megawatt. Now 50% is finished. Again, Nkoyisha, Salini with 2,200 in Gilgil 3 already finished. Salini was took part. So we hope other Italian companies also will talk in the other projects like Enel. And we have also wind park. 3 are operational and there are more to come, geothermal energy. So we have a policy and strategies for green development. In fact, we call it CRG Clean, the CRG Clean Green Climate Resilient Policy. And by 2025, we are aiming to have a carbon neutral.
So it's very interesting.
Development. So we have not only policy strategies, but initiatives, Ministry of Environment and Forestry, and other ministries. In fact, we mainstream into all the sector development agenda of the country about green development.
So it's not only speaking, but also action.
In action. And today we are generating about 4,200 megawatt. In the pipeline, we have, big like 6,250. So by the end of the 5-year plan, which we call it GTP, Growth and Transformation Plan 2, we'll reach more than 10,000 megawatt. But the potential is more than 1 million, they are saying. So
plus also solar, yeah?
Solar, wind, so you see. So we have all this, and the government is very determined to invest, even by borrowing, to invest in this, because we believe that to address poverty, energy is, one of the
of the
main enabler, and yes, we'll continue with this and other industrial parks. But again, they are environmental friendly, renewable, and clean energy now projects in the country.
Okay. I also was quite impressed when I saw the map with a lot of different industrial parks. Yes, so you are building the parks around the country, and I would like to ask you, so which kind of industries you are welcoming? Because we are solar and clean tech television, so are you also welcoming the industries from the solar and clean tech sectors as well?
Yeah, sure. Ethiopia is agrarian country. Most of its population is dependent for livelihood on agriculture, about 80%. And the potential that we need to grow is from agriculture. We have land, we have water, we have labor, and we have mother nature, agroecological zone suitable for growing anything, you know.
It can be like a food hub.
Yeah, food hub. So we need to process the agricultural product, and we have light manufacturing industry. These are agro-processing, textile and garment, laser, as drivers of the economy. So for this reason, you know, we are having now industrial park for textile and apparel for agro-processing, so that, you know, investment will come into processing, and of course this in turn will impact agriculture, giving market and also giving a different input to modernize agriculture. Therefore, the backward and forward linkage will help the whole economy, you know, to uplift. So all these industrial parks you see, they are in the agro-processing sector, and for this purpose we need also to address renewable energy on agriculture side as well as on the industry sector side. Yes, it is a welcome to have renewable energy, because the parks themselves, they have to be eco-industrial park. So we need different renewable energy for sourcing, for powering the industries, as well as in the agriculture side, we have a lot of agricultural waste where we need to recycle and get energy and get different bioproducts to grow, to mechanize the agriculture. Even in irrigation, we are using sprinklers, you know, to irrigate the land, by millions of hectares. Therefore, we need for that renewable energy like hydro, like you know, whatever, you know, feasible. So we are promoting this industrialization, in fact, structural transformation from agriculture to industry. Yes, with the policies of the country, the government is determined to invite all companies, a similar company like Enel, with green development. So the government is now looking this cooperation also to have, you know, with Italy.
Okay, so last very easy question, because you are speaking in so lot of countries. So this is like your first thing that people, they are asking you. Why the investors, international investors, should invest in Ethiopia?
Thank you. Because there are these fundamentals which concern to the investors. We have political stability, we have macroeconomic stability, and the economy is growing, fast-growing economy, and the purchasing power of the people is growing, and the government is pro-investment, and we are creating conducive environment, you know, for investors, like industrial parks, cheap power, 5 cents, below 5 cents, you know, per kilowatt hour, you don't find anywhere. We have human resource, we have agricultural resource. So all this, you know, present potential for investors to be profitable, you know. So Ethiopia is now a top destination for investment. In fact, we have per annum level 30%, 35% growth of investment. So to create this conducive environment, we need to have parks and where investors can focus on their job, on the processing, and to provide all the services also through one stop in the parks. And for investors, what they need is profit, what they need is to be competitive. So Ethiopia presents this potential to investors. So that's why we want to show to the investors this potential. On top of that, the government is providing incentives, very attractive incentive package, generous incentive package for investors to come into the park. So while we build the park, we need also to attract investors side by side, so that, you know,
also ensure security.
Yeah, to ensure the development of the country, to create job opportunity for our citizens, ultimately to address also poverty, and to generate foreign exchange. So this is a mutual. Italian companies, they are welcome.
International also.
International companies, they are welcome. So it's a win-win for investors, for the country, for the government, for the people. So in this occasion, I would like, to say welcome to Ethiopia to invest, and grazie mille, and see you in Ethiopia.
Yes, and actually, I would like to confirm that in October we'll visit Ethiopia, Addis Abeba, at the event together with RES Format. So thank you so much. That was Solar PV TV with the Minister of State of Industry from Ethiopia, who also speaks besides Italian and Russian. Thank you so much.
Спасибо.
Спасибо.
Grazie mille.
Thank you so much.